Hi, I'm Steve Taylor, your host for Signal Exchange, and my special guest today is, what'd you say your name was?
Chagall Guevara.
Oh, nicely done. We're strapped to the couch.
Hi, welcome to the Weekend Jam. I'm your host, Corey Edwards, and we have a very special guest with us here this weekend, none other than Mr. Steve Taylor. Welcome.
Hi, Corey. How's it going?
Tell us what kind of traveling you've been doing with the Squint project. It's big news.
We pedal to each venue. It's been, I mean, it's hard. It's not the most efficient way to travel, but it's really, it's a great way to see the country.
Tell me about Squint. This is an amazing thing. You and just a few of your closest crew friends around the world.
We had a reasonable budget from the record company, but not enough to build, you know, cool sets like you see here. So we figured what instead we'd do is we'd go to very exotic locations around the world, and that way if people got tired of looking at me, there would be something else to look at. It was one of those things, everything should have gone wrong, and God smiled on us and it all went right. Let's see, we were in Hong Kong and Thailand, Turkey, the United Arab Emirates, England, Ireland, 10 countries in all.
Pick a video off of the new Squint project. I'm going to pick Smug.
Well, that one starts off, the opening shot, we picked it to start the video because it was so unique. It was in an area called Cappadocia in Turkey. It's these giant anthills, but it looks like there are apartments inside these anthills, like something out of The Wizard of Oz or something like that. Over the years, especially during the Crusades, I guess monks burrowed into these to hide from the I don't know, from the Islamic hordes or something like that were coming after him.
Why don't you check out Smug? We'll be right back with my very special guest, Mr. Steve Taylor. We're here on a comfy couch in the middle of nowhere with Mr. Steve Taylor, my special guest, and here's our tasty beverages. Please bring on the tasty beverages.
Oh, thanks. How very nice.
We've kind of seen your career go all different kinds of directions. I've still got my On the Fritz LP.
Oh, right. Nice antique. You're good.
Yes, with the short curly hair, Steve Taylor.
Right.
Kind of in the zoot suit. And then we went to Chagall Guevara.
Now, the original name of the band was Geraldo Rivera, and then we found out that that was already taken. The band's name came from Dave Perkins, one of the guitarists in the band and one of the writers. He came up with a band named Chagall Guevara, taking the names of an artist and a revolutionary, putting them together. None of us actually figured out what it meant, but we just thought it would be good, in spite of all the other odds of starting a new band from scratch, to then have a band name that no one could pronounce.
There was kind of a Steve Taylor hiatus. Everybody was whispering. People on the streets were calling to each other, "Steve Taylor is returning!"
One of the reasons I came back to doing a solo record is because I really missed doing music that was coming from a specifically Christian point of reference and the sort of mission that goes along with it. I actually started off before any of this as a youth pastor, and I got into music as sort of like figuring that was sort of an extension of that. So doing this sort of brings it all back full circle. Probably the song on the album that still moves me emotionally is a song called The Finish Line. This is the video that was shot mostly in Vietnam.
I was reading some of your diary, and in Vietnam, not good to be a dog, correct?
No, I believe we were actually served one at one point on our trip. We didn't actually know what it was, but of course we don't speak the language, so.
But it was good, wasn't it?
It was, tasted like chicken. I had some friends who were just sort of, had been Christians for a while, and they were just sort of starting to lose their way. It was written to just tell them to, you know, stay on track, press on to the finish line.
Well, why don't you check out The Finish Line and check out the lyrics, a powerful message, and a little bit of scenery from Vietnam. This is Steve Taylor, and this is the Weekend Jam. Hey, this is Corey Edwards, this is the Weekend Jam, and this is Steve Taylor. What kind of musician would you consider yourself?
I actually have a degree in music, but I can't play anything, so I guess I would consider myself a poor musician. I even got fired off my own album once for doing finger claps. They were trying to figure out who was out of rhythm, and it was me.
Now, there is one video that you say you didn't have much to do with, but it It's definitely pushing the envelope here in Christian entertainment. It's the cash cow.
The cash cow.
About 3 years ago, a guy sent a videotape. It was this guy's cell animation. He was going to college, art school in California. So about 9 months later, he sent me the next project that he'd done in school, and it was more like clay animation. So I called him up and said, man, I really like what you're doing here. So when I finished the song, The Cash Cow, I sent a rough mix of that off to him, and he got real excited about it. And so this guy named Jonathan Richter decided this was going to be his senior thesis. Sent me a storyboard. I looked at it, and it was like, man, it looks perfect to me. I wouldn't want to change anything. I would have no idea how to do it otherwise, unless, you know, I had like a few $100,000 budget-wise. So
Big cow suit.
yeah, big cow suit and all that stuff. So yeah, it just worked out.
Cash cow, coming to get ya.
I want to talk about Bannerman. Who is Bannerman actually in this video? His secret identity.
He actually works behind the soundboard. I'm not going to say that he's actually our sound man. I don't know what it is about Hong Kong. I guess they're just used to seeing caped superheroes every day, but nobody even gave him a second notice.
Another guy in a cape. Golly. There's one part in Bannerman where you've got a different band.
We were in Thailand. We had meant to go to the Flying Chicken restaurant and film there. We had to go across the street to a restaurant where the waiters are on roller skates. I had an idea. I was thinking, well, maybe these guys would be interested in, you know, sort of being the house band for Bannerman. So I talked to them through an interpreter, and they agreed to do it. The funny thing was, is that this restaurant was a big restaurant. All the employees were like, you know, teenagers, and they heard somehow that American Rock Singer was going to be shooting an MTV video. So they all gather around waiting for the big, you know, big performance. And so when they see me doing this kind of thing here with the house band, it's like they all sort of filtered out after about a minute. I like the idea of the Bible speaking for itself, you know, telling people God loves them and Jesus died for them. So this song is a tribute to those brave bannermen and women out there.
So why don't you check out Bannerman, and we'll be right back with Steve Taylor. Oh, just getting some sun here with Steve Taylor. Not only do you do your own songs, your own videos, you are producer, director extraordinaire for many other groups. You do a lot of traveling, and you did so on Rich Mullins' videos. You've done 2 of those?
Actually 4. The first song was here in America. And
Which was shot where?
That was shot in Ireland.
I do not understand that.
Well, neither did the record company at first. But sort of the idea is Rich's ancestors came from Ireland. So we shot over there, and then I think one of the final shots is has the Statue of Liberty just subtly make an appearance in the background.
In America.
Dakota Motor Company, have you done a lot of work with them? How many videos?
They live in California, so we actually flew out to California, and I managed to use pretty much the entire surroundings of the town where my mom grew up in the desert, Mojave Desert. It's called 29 Palms, California. So we used my uncle's drive-in theater and the surrounding areas. It was just one of those things, you know, it's like an Andy Hardy movie. Hey, my uncle's got a drive-in theater, we'll use that.
It's kind of like the Little Rascals getting together to direct a video.
Exactly right.
Another video was Out of the Gray, which I love them.
Oh, right, yeah, they were really great to work with, too. The song is called In the Name of Love. What's it called? Oh, man.
They're watching right now, Steve.
And I think by the time the video's done, you actually you hear the song about 250 times total. All We Need, that's the name of the song.
I just hooked up with the Newsboys, I know.
I was very disappointed early on to find out that they were Australian. I was under assumption they were Austrian. And so I was looking forward to, you know, working with some Europeans, and instead, you know, I get these guys from some island down in the south.
Tell me what it was like shooting the video Shine. We've got Eskimos, we've got guys in tutus.
It was a wild, wild day. We've got all these characters and snow and a bubble machine. I was thinking, man, you couldn't possibly take out enough insurance for this shot.
So check out the video, Newsboys video, Shine, directed by Steve Taylor, and a kabuki dancer eats a mouse. What else can I say? You produce yourself and you direct yourself. What is that like? Do you say, cut, this is no good, I have to be with myself for a few minutes, explain something?
That's about it. You just sort of develop a sixth sense of when something's not working.
Jesus is for Losers. Tell me about the lyrical content of that.
Well, Jesus for Losers is just a reminder. Jesus said that he didn't come for those who are well, he came for those who need a doctor. And I think a lot of us forget that you know, we're all losers, and we don't deserve anything. We have nothing going for us, and it's only God's grace that he reaches down to us and saves us. And so apart from the grace of God, we're not anything. We don't deserve anything, and that's exactly why we need a Savior. On this one, we were in England, I believe, exclusively. That's right.
This is Steve Taylor, and this is Jesus is for Losers on the Weekend Jam. That's our last video by Steve Taylor, and this is Steve Taylor, and we've just about got to get out of here. And I was really getting comfortable on this couch, but I know you got a show to do.
Well, yeah, I guess so.
You might as well do what you came to do here. He is all around the world, all around the country, the Squinter National Tour. We got to get out of here. I'd like to encourage you to write us here at Signal Exchange, P.O. Box 7750, Charlotte, North Carolina 28241. Let us know what you like, what you don't like, and if I should grow my hair as long as Steve's. We got to get out of here, but we'll see you next time on The Weekend Jam.